Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers from 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, and we found out more about what we are getting for 084, the next update for Last Epoch. Now Mike, as always, thank you for continuing to do these streams. The community truly appreciates it. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. First question, Mike, what are the high-level design goals for legendary items?
High-level design goals for legendary items would be something to strive for, something where you know there's these high-level, really powerful items that you can deterministically get. Given some sort of, determinism is kind of possibly a misleading thing there, but where you have some agency over how the legendaries you're getting, so you can target certain legendaries. That's really important. So having that, having them be less reliant on just here's one individual drop that is. Let's have my other headset off, something like that. This earphone, nothing comes through this side at all, so I usually just sit with it off so I can hear things in the rest of the house better. And then when I stream, I try and put it on because it doesn't look as weird. But this is just a dummy headphone on the right. Anyways, something so you're less reliant on a single individual drop to get this really amazing item. So they are legendary items are what you're striving for. They're what you're pushing for. They are really good. However, in order to make something that powerful and that good, we kind of need to have, it either ends up being like there's one drop, like okay, you got that one in a billion drop, and oh my god, you're suddenly 0 to 60 rich type thing, and while that is really great to have those drops, we've made legendary items a bit of a important part of the leveling process and the gameplay. Itemization. There's the word I'm looking for. We've made we've made them a pretty important part of itemization in general.
I cannot do that.
So it's really important to be able to have a little bit of control over which ones you're getting and to be able to work towards them in pieces. So having, I'm speaking really abstractly about this, but so a really good example of this is the Pandemonium event in Diablo 2, which I've been playing recently, and it's childhood all over again. Anyways,
he's getting there.
In the Pandemonium event, you can find keys that are rare drops from specific mini bosses, and you can combine those keys together to access some very difficult bosses that then drop organs, which you can combine together to fight the hardest content in the game. And it's these like stepping stone moments. These once you've got a piece of the pieces drop, once you've found those randomly, you can then start to combine them together to make the thing that's really good, and you have a little bit of control over that. And this is going to add a little bit of that to the game. So there's you're completing specific events to combine these things together in such a way that you are creating a better item.
Ooh, did you catch all that? So it's not going to be like you're just playing and the legendary item falls and you are super excited, right? Pretty much he said that's not going to happen. Maybe a little bit like a 1 in a billion, but not really. You're going to be farming different things in order to have the ability to get a legendary, but what's more important about that is he said you can target farm which legendaries you want, which means, if it was a singular boss that you fought and that singular boss is the only boss that dropped legendaries, then you couldn't target farm it because it only fell from one boss. So there has to be some kind of mechanic that allows you to target whatever that boss area is to farm that legendary. Now, I'm sure you all saw the thumbnail that said 12 Affix item. Very intriguing, right? Listen to this.
All right. How many affixes legendaries will have maximum?
Think hard, Mike.
Absolute maximum. 10? 12? I think there's an edge case where it can be 12. I think there's an edge case where it can be 12. But, like, it's such a misleading question, which is why I'm happy to answer it.
Yes. Legendary items. And I talked to Mike on the side. It's very, 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 very rare that you will get the legendary item that you wanted and for it to roll with 12 affixes. The average will likely be like 6 to 9. But it is possible. Sticking with the theme of legendary items, Mike, is there going to be a limit to how many legendaries you can equip?
As of right now, no. It's possible that could change, but as of right now, no. I will say that it will be extremely difficult to get like the exact legendary you want. So you might find yourself really like pushing for a specific legendary, but you just can't get it yet.
When Mike answers a question like that, it means obviously it's up for debate, which means it's something that 11th Hour Games has tabled, probably as developers. But as of right now, no limit to how many legendaries you can wear. That being said, it's going to be really hard to get them. And it's probably going to be really hard to get the couple of legendaries that synergize together. You know what I mean? Like, what is the likelihood you're going to find a legendary that's for Void Cleave weapon that also is an armor for Void damage? You know, I think that's what's going to be really hard. Yeah, maybe you'll have a couple legendaries if you really grind them, but the chance of them having synergy to work on the same build is likely going to be rare. At least that's my guess. I'm going to allow Mike to read this next question, and we don't get a great answer, but he does give us one little nugget. Listen to this.
How will dungeons scale their difficulty? Will they scale by just area level, or will the player also have a choices available to them that scales the difficulty higher and thus available rewards? Additionally, if dungeons interact with other endgame systems, will those also scale their difficulty even further? Wow, lots to unpack there. I can't really give you exact info because we haven't done our big dungeon detail dev post yet. We're still working on dungeons. The functionality is not, well, functionality is actually in and it is playable right now, but it's not, I wouldn't say polished yet. So we are still actively developing it, and things could change. So I don't want to say too much about exactly how it'll be. However, it is designed as both a leveling mechanic and an endgame mechanic, which is only really possible if there is some form of scaling involved.
Boom. Did you hear that? It is a leveling mechanic and an endgame mechanic. Now, people talk all the time like, oh, I'm bored of the campaign. What if you don't want to play the campaign? Well, at level 25, you can jump into the monolith, but most of the time you'll get murdered. Now, Mike just confirmed, right? He goes on to say it could change. It's not done yet, but dungeons can be used as a leveling mechanic. For the next question, Mike was asked about unused shards, or there's some shards that you have thousands of and they never get used. Is there something in the new crafting mechanic where you can use those? Listen to this response.
I was answering a question about too many shards. There is a mechanic in the new system that will mean shards are, or the change system, shards will get used more frequently, just in general across the board. You'll end up using more shards. We know that there's quite often a pretty heavy imbalance in which shards you're using and which shards you're accumulating. So you're sitting there and you're like, I've got one of this fantastic shard that I want, and I've got 400 of this other shard that I'm never going to use. And
Yes.
we don't have something specific for that situation yet. We are well aware it's a problem. And like there's lots of simple solutions there. So things like just basic things like, okay, you can trade 10 to 1 for any shard, you know?
Yes.
That might be a little too open, because then it becomes you can suddenly just trade, like you're just picking up any item that has, like any T20 item suddenly becomes like 2 of any shard for you. You know what I mean? If you were to get all the shards off of it. Yeah. So
What I think is that shards should be categorized, right? Like Affix shards. 10 vitality shards can be turned into 1 strength, right? Even though vitality and strength are equal, if you need more strength and you're not using vitality, you can do that. Same with skill shards. So if I have 10 skills to Earthquake, but I never use Earthquake, but I need it, you know, for Avalanche or something like that, I could transfer 10 for 1 grouped in the same affix. I think that would be fair and make more sense. We have officially come to our final question. I'm going to allow Mike to read it and answer it. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat 31, and I want to know your opinion. What do you think about all the information we learned from this Q&A live stream? Let me know in the comment section below. Mike, as always, like I said at the beginning, thank you for continuing to do these streams. The community totally appreciates it. I'm sure you've all heard by now that I have officially started a Twitch, streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, having so much fun with the ARPG community, playing lots of Last Epoch, built 15 build guides over stream, lots of good conversation, and you can ask me any questions. First link in the description below. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,200 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat 31. Mike, take it away.
any new normal weapons coming out soon? Yep, next patch is getting one of the classes of weapons is getting a whole new set of models, 2D art, stats, all those things. Technically there will be one more base than exists now as well for that class. Or for that class, for that weapon base type.